back on the other channel, and today we're picking up a brand new project. Now, naturally, as one would, on the way to pick up said project, we found ourselves on quite a side quest to look at more potential projects. So yeah, that's how this is gonna go. But hey, today's video is sponsored by Simply Safe, because there's no safe like Simply Safe. Now let's roll it. We found it. Oh. You don't see a lot of these. Yeah.
I love the color too. That red looks awesome.
We're not talking about the fit.
Come on, man. Look at that. It's hard to pass on that.
Okay, yeah, Fernando's been on a fit kick lately. I have no idea why, but you might see one of those at some point. 911 turbo, 997, and get right down to it because we got to see what really matters here. It's an automatic.
Your face says it all.
Not the reaction you were looking for, huh? I mean, it's still a 997 turbo. We got the Mesger engine. It's still an awesome car. But again, it's automatic. I'm sorry, Tiptronic. You know, if we ignore the whole automatic thing, this actually does look like a really clean example of one. Black interior, it's got the dark blue exterior. Do we have any power here? We do not. The interior, if the airbags weren't popped at least, looks like it's really low mileage and real nice shape. One thing that's kind of crazy is this thing's been sitting in a salvage auction for who knows how long, and the water's still beading up on it. It doesn't even look dusty or dirty. The paint's in beautiful shape. This is a shame. Somebody really took care of this thing, only for it to end up here. I mean, that looks like almost clear coat on the tires. That's odd. Thought that was tire shine, but that is like, is this a thing? Is this a thing I'm not aware of? I feel like I've seen a lot when it comes to cars. Been messing with them for a long time. I haven't seen that. Now let's see about this damage. So yeah, it's basically all right here. The suspension's ripped completely apart. I mean, all that's gonna need to be replaced. The wheel, yep, the clear coat's broken on the tire there even. That's all jacked up. You got this radiator AC condenser fan assembly up here in the lower driver corner. That's trashed. I guess the real question is, how bad did it affect this whole front tub assembly or the lower frame rail? And at least from here, which again, it's really hard to see being that we're in a gravel lot, not on a lift. You can see back behind the wheel when it ripped all that suspension off that it got pushed back into that like lower rocker area. So that's kind of dinged up, though it really doesn't look too bad. Obviously, headlight ain't headlighting anymore. Now, when they get hit like this sometimes, it'll push this whole tub over. But on this one, it really looks like it kind of took the fender and pulled it that way on the bolts. I would guess, again, guess is the key word there, that it's probably straight. It's really hard to tell, but there's no like nicks, there's no cracked paint, there's nothing weird going on that lower frame rail. And if that's the case, it should be a really easy fix. Not necessarily a cheap one, because we are talking Porsche parts, but an easy one. It's kind of crazy. It has this carbon fiber lip on it, and even over here on the part that got wrecked, it's 99.9% together, which is just wild that survived. Now, if there is a downside to this one, it's that there's basically no 997 turbo that's gonna go remotely cheap at auction, even if it's automatic in a lower spec one like this. It doesn't have the carbon ceramic brakes. It's as run-of-the-mill as a 997 turbo gets, and it's still probably gonna pull $35,000, $40,000 even, especially considering how easy of a fix this thing is going to be. It does kind of unfortunately mean there's probably not going to be that great of a deal to be had on it. Think it's got a hot engine in it?
I don't know.
It might. I've seen that before. I gotta admit, I do really like the black hood on the Chargers. Especially
it doesn't look bad at all.
I think that's cool.
Whoa!
Wow, that's clean.
Really clean.
Hood struts, well, it's missing a hood strut, so I guess we're gonna have to do this the whole time. Yeah, it looks real nice. We got a JLT aftermarket intake, a Billet Technologies catch can on it. So you got headers or anything cool down there? No, stock headers. It looks to be otherwise stock, which is like your basic 2 mods for a Hellcat, right?
Just caved the diffuser.
Oh yeah, that's another, this is another surefire Mopar product, right? Now looking past the mods, it does kind of look like this one's just, I don't know, a little raggedy. Like the paint's cracked there. If you look all the way down the side of it, it was either really poorly resprayed or just dogged out. And actually, That don't sound real good, right? That sounds way more solid than it actually should be. So I guess that's like Bondo cracking or something. It reminds me, again, unfortunately, a lot like the one that we put the K-Series in. It was just a ragged out car. Now, the inside, yeah, it's got all the blown bags, but it does have the carbon dash trim, the carbon shifter bezel. That's pretty cool. It's got the Alcantara wheel, and it just looks a lot better than you'd imagine considering the outside.
That's interesting.
Interesting, that's a word. Yeah, the roof on this thing is buckled, and I wouldn't necessarily expect that from the type of damage it has. You think this was like a takeover deal where they're like stomping on the roof and, you know?
Just visualize the entire perspective, right? Front end hit, damage in the roof.
I know that sounds like it might be a joke, but look at the way this thing's hit. Yeah, it has a lot of front passenger suspension damage. It's sitting down a good bit further than it should be, but it's not really that hard of a hit. There's nothing here that would suggest the roof should be buckled. Usually you only see that on cars that are, I mean, whacked. Outside of the pause that whole situation gives me on this car, it really wouldn't be that bad to fix. I mean, the biggest concern probably is the fact that the oil cooler's off of it and, wow, wedged under the radiator. All too often you see, I guess, tow drivers have started up cars with the oil coolers ripped off like this, and it ends up dropping oil pressure once it all pours out, seizes up the motor, or at the very least spins a bearing. Now on this one, it does look like those oil cooler lines are still there. They're definitely beat up, but at least they're not missing completely. The cooler itself is there as well. Fernando, would you be the second hood strut for me for a second? Thank you. Let's see, does it still have oil in it? If it does, oh yeah. Oh yeah, okay. So that gives me a lot of confidence that either it wasn't started after it was wrecked. Come on, let me get it in the hole. There we go, come on.
Struggle with that.
Oh, stop it, stop it. All right. That gives me a lot of confidence that either it wasn't started or the oil cooler's simply beat up, hanging under the car, still holding oil. If there were no questions about the whole roof situation, if there weren't further chassis concerns because of that, I think you could maybe pay $30 for this and be okay. The damage, again, it's not horrendous, but even body damage aside, that's a lot of airbags you got to replace on the interior. We don't know what's going on behind this passenger fender, though I suspect it's probably just a fender damage type deal. There's a lot here. If you could get this car for, I'd say, 20 grand, I think you'd be in real good shape.
I know you like this.
How can you not, right? It's a Hellcat, so I like it. That's how it works, right?
Definitely a Mopar guy.
Oh, I mean, we've established that at this point, right?
Woo!
Dude, they're all so clean.
Wow.
It must be a Connecticut specific thing, but they are all very clean. So this one looks actually bone stock. The other one had a couple light mods. This looks stock.
Oh, the main part. No. Don't touch it.
I would never. That is a Mopar crime, okay?
Yeah. What if this actually got a regular dealership? Or like a test drive or something like that?
You know, I don't think so, because these look like they've been on there for a while. On this one, the damage really isn't too different from that wide body Charger we just looked at. Now this one's, I guess, in a little better shape, being that the oil cooler's still there, the radiator's not really damaged. It looks like it just got it over here on this passenger corner. They've tied the bumper back on, but behind it, you see that core support? That's broken. That is a bolt-on piece, so it's not the biggest deal in the world. This whole thing comes off. Let's see what we got going on the frame rail down there. It's gonna be really tough to see. It's not visibly bad. Actually, that whole front bumper beam, it's in the right spot, and that's something. That's something. The bumper's obviously trashed. The headlight, most of that's gone. The fender, that's garbage. You got the corner of the hood, that's jacked up. Maybe a good body guy could fix that, though it is aluminum, so that makes it a little tougher. Now the downside of this one is it got it on the back too. It's not just a front end wreck like the green Charger was. The whole quarter panel is jacked up, and I'd bet by how hard it is on the back side of it and how far it's pushed in that you're probably gonna have some inner structure damage too, so that's not really ideal. Outside of that crack down there, it looks like the rear bumper kind of survived. It just pulled out from that upper mount, so you could probably repair that. The spoiler, that got it, unfortunately. They're like 500 bucks. The driver's side of the car looks really nice. Let's see the inside. Ironically, this one looks way better on the outside than the Charger did, but the inside of this one's just kind of ratty, weird. It's not a great looking car, actually. It's got a couple blown passenger bags. Driver side's okay. It does have the red key. Red key's always a bonus. I don't know, it's like a 6 out of 10 interior, 5 if you count the smell. That's not great either. This one at least has the Hellcat logo on the side. They didn't steal that. All this stuff on the driver's side looks pretty good though. Got the 6-piston brakes, the wheel, that all survived. What is up with these here?
That's weird.
This one has like a light roof buckle too. One thing you noticed when you open this door, what happens, right? Yeah, only 9,500 miles on this thing. The oil cooler's intact, as long as it's got oil in it. Oh yeah.
Huh.
It's a little dirty, but I mean, dirty's better than not there, right? Look, we're gonna try to start this thing up. Let's see what it does.
Fire it up.
Woo! That's quiet.
Way too quiet.
This ain't a Hellcat type Hellcat, you know?
Nope.
Drivetrain wise, it's a real nice car. Now, it's right on that borderline, at least in my opinion, where somebody's gonna wanna fix it. But at least from my point of view, already having the OG Demon and the Demon 170, I don't really need another Challenger, necessarily want another Challenger, so I would buy this for a donor drivetrain for a swap or something. And for that, it would probably have to go $18,000 to $20,000, and I do think it's kind of going to be right on that line. But given the mileage, if I had to put money on it, I'd say somebody's probably going to pay more to try to fix it, especially because you probably can't see stuff like this in the auction pictures.
He's a brother.
I can't tell if he just forgot the or if it's saying Mopar means you're going to have no car because it's going to get stolen. That took you a minute.
Yeah.
Y'all know the deal. This shop is where everything, literally everything we've worked so hard for lives. The cars, the tools, the gear. So keeping it safe matters. Like, a lot. And that is why we've teamed up with Simply Safe to help protect it all. With traditional alarms, you're not gonna know something's up until someone's already inside, and that's kind of a problem, right? But with Simply Safe Active Guard outdoor protection, crime can actually be stopped before it happens. AI-powered cameras alert live monitoring agents the second someone suspicious shows up. They can see and talk to them, flash lights, trigger alarms, even call the cops, all before anyone breaks in. And don't worry, it's smart. It knows the neighbors, the delivery driver, or, you know, this guy aren't a threat, so you're not gonna be getting false alarms all the time. I can arm and disarm everything, check camera feeds, and get instant alerts right to my phone. They've also got smoke and CO2 detectors, which, yeah, it seems like a solid idea in this place. Yeah, right by the dyno seems prudent. They really do have just everything you need to lock your place down, from entryway sensors to glass break sensors to indoor cameras and motion sensors. And look, there's no contracts, there's no hidden fees, and monitoring starts at about $1 a month. And probably most importantly, you can save 50% on your Simply Safe security system when you sign up for professional monitoring. Plus, you're gonna get your first month free. Just visit simplysafe.com/scraplifely to customize yours. And remember, there's no safe like Simply Safe.
Haha, buddy.
This is tough.
You look interested.
This is tough. I am interested.
Yeah.
This is easily top 3 toughest looking GTRs I've ever seen at the auction. I mean, where do we even start with this thing, right? It's a silver, it's a matte silver wrapped, specifically 2017 and up GTR. It's got Advan GT wheels on it. Fun fact, these are the same wheels that I had on my old white GTR way back when. One of the best wheels you can put on an R35 in my humble opinion. Yes, I might be a little biased. It's got carbon aero all around. It's got a carbon duckbill trunk lid on it. Once again, the same thing I had on my white GTR, so I think you can see why I really like this one so much. On the inside, oh, so good. So good. The red interior didn't blow any airbags. Got an aftermarket wheel with the dry carbon. This thing's sweet all around. We haven't even got to what I hope at least is the best part. Okay, all right. I mean, we got some stuff. It's not like some crazy 12 injector intake manifold or one of those carbon fiber type deals. It doesn't look like it's, you know, by any means some 2,000 horsepower GTR, but hey, it's still got a lot of nice stuff. It's got carbon fiber alpha intakes. It's got some aftermarket intercooler piping on it, tile blow off valves. What else? It's got an ethanol sensor, Visconti tuning, so it's on E85, or at least has the capability to run it. You can read it out right there. I'm sure we have some aftermarket injectors down there too. Actually can't really see too well, but there has to be. Usually if you're doing E85, you've got bigger injectors to go along with it. The big question though is, does it have aftermarket turbos? Oof. If you look way down there, and I mean way, way down there, you can see it has aftermarket internal wastegate actuators, but that could still be on stock turbos. It is incredibly hard to tell in these cars, especially when you're just looking at them from the top in an auction lot like this. But at the very least, we can see that it has the stock exhaust manifold / turbine housing setup. They're one piece on these, but that still doesn't mean that it doesn't have upgraded turbos. When I did my GTR build, I used stock exhaust manifolds and exhaust housing, and you just milled it out to fit a bigger turbo inside of it. You're kind of limited on what you can do, but you can still make a ton of power. Mine was making close to 1,000 horsepower, so there's still a lot to be done. Now we got a Alpha catch can on it. We got an Alpha coolant tank. There's a lot of nice stuff here. Oh, we got an ETS intercooler on it too. That's slick. They are not cheap. This car's loaded. You can't really see it, but I'm positive the car's got downpipes and a mid pipe on it. It's got a Fabworks rear section on it with these giant exhaust tips. Now for the damage, before we try to fire this thing up, let's see. I mean, obviously there's the fender, that's wiped. The front bumper, yeah, it's cracked, probably fixable though. The strut, that is a Z-shaped Bilstein. The upright, that upper control arm, done. The brake caliper, scratched, but I think it survived. Actually, it's probably the same thing for the rotor. That looks pretty decent. We do have a little bit of damage here on this driver quarter panel. That is a real easy fix. I mean, it's just a dent for all intents and purposes. That's just a scratch in the PPF. No big deal there. A lot of times on wrecks like this carbon fiber composite core support will break, and that's kind of a big deal. Then there's the obvious stuff like frame damage, and it's really hard to see. Actually, what's that? There is an insurance mark right there. Oh, no way. There is a little, and I mean little, nick in the frame. It almost feels like it's just paint back there. Was that really the straw that broke the metaphorical camel's back? It's unfortunate in a way, but if you have cars like the aluminum frame C6 Z06 Corvette, if they have even a minor ding in the frame, they're totaled. I mean, like a scratch, a nick, anything, they're done. I suppose, given all this other damage, that little bit of frame damage could have been enough to total it. I don't know. Let's see. Let's do it. 44,000, almost 45,000 miles. We are dead out of gas.
You smell that?
No. E85, baby. Running on corn.
Sounds good.
We'll shut it down before I run out of gas, but man, I like this thing. I like it. And it really doesn't look like it'd be that hard of a rebuild. Now, of course, that does come with the downside. It is gonna be really expensive, but sometimes, potentially a car like this, it's worth paying up for a fairly easy rebuild on an awesome car. We've been doing this for years, and this is the first Nissan S15 I've ever seen, period.
I guarantee you it's not the best one though.
Technically it is the best one. If it's the only one, it has to be the best one. And let's, this is a story of two halves, right? Let's start with back here. Look how good this thing looks. A slammed black S15 on real work wheels at a salvage auction in Connecticut. And maybe the best part is, I didn't even know this was here. It wasn't until we actually got up here and we were looking at that silver GTR that one of the guys who works here came over and said, hey, we got a S15 over there, by the way, you wanna check it out? I honestly thought I heard him wrong at first, but no, it's an S15. And again, from here, it looks really cool. It's got a Tomei titanium exhaust, though it is bent up a little bit. Again, that's kind of the least of our concerns because we've all seen the front already, and it's, at least it opens. Oh my. Oh my. This just feels old school. I love it. We got the SR20 DET blacktop 2-liter turbo Nissan engine, obviously. We got a Blitz blow-off valve, that's old school JDM. We got the Hallman manual boost controller. I haven't seen one of those in like 15 years. This is so cool.
So cool and sad.
It is sad. Like, I feel almost weird also getting more hyped up about this thing than I probably did about all the Hellcats we just saw.
Yes.
But man, now obviously this thing is destroyed. The engine's what stopped this wreck. It got hit square on the front, and man, it went right into the engine. You see, engine is supposed to be about that angle, and it's about that angle. It's not right. I mean, this thing is flattened on the front end. It doesn't even really matter at this point, because obviously this car is a parts car, but the fender, that's all jacked up. The windshield, that's broken. Whew. The door is like, it's overlapping by a good couple millimeters. Oh, that's brutal. That's brutal. Look at the steering wheel. And that's a Nardi wheel. That's not some cheap $50, you know, Amazon type wheel. That's a nice quality steering wheel. Look at the roof. Now on this isn't surprising. This is the car a roof should be buckled on, right? Yes. Not the Hellcats. I've always wanted one of these. We definitely will build one at some point. I think I'd rather get one of these that was like stolen, stripped, flooded, on fire, literally anything, as opposed to this heavy of a front end wreck. Especially when, one, it'll be the first one I've ever done, and two, parts just aren't that plentiful around here. So as weird as it is to see an S15 at the auction, it's even weirder that the first one we ever see when I really want one, not really even gonna bid on it. We'll find one. We'll find one at some point. Hey, if you have one that's in a little better shape than this, you wanna get rid of it on the cheap, you know, all right? So before we ever come out to the salvage auction, we generally try to, you know, take a look through Copart.com and see what's there. I didn't see that S15 earlier, and I definitely didn't see a blue Trackhawk. So here we are, surprise Trackhawk. Woo! Remember how clean those other ones were earlier?
Yes.
That ain't this. Wow. We got a JLT intake on it, a filthy engine bay.
Whoa.
Hell yeah. That is a trap phone if I've ever seen one.
Wow.
When's the last time you've heard Kyocera? Kyocera. This looks like an Amazon Fire TV remote. No, this is a cell phone. You guys remember the days? Honestly, the wrap doesn't look that bad on this thing. The blue's actually a pretty cool color. What do you think?
Yeah, not for me.
Never a good sign, right?
No.
No, generally not. No, you never really want to see that when you open up your car. And it's part of the front bumper. Wow. It's rough. It's definitely rough. Whew. Inside's all jacked. Oh, the blue steering wheel, though. I was about to call it jacked up. The blue steering wheel's kind of cool. Got to give him that. Now, as for the damage we can see here, and there is a lot of it, this whole lower door / rocker area caved in. The fender flare, it's flaring in definitely the wrong direction. Over here is the worst of it, though. I mean, that whole upper fender area is caved in. The oil cooler's still there, so again, a plus if this thing started after the wreck, which, judging by the way it looks, I kind of doubt it. That lower frame rail, it's hard to get a good look, but it has to be, right? It has to be. We all know it. It has to be. You know, back here, this might be honestly one of the worst parts of it. This is hit probably a lot harder than it looks like on camera. Just, that is solid. The rear's nice. The rear's good. It's got a little bit of rear diffuser damage. You can see this wheel over here. That's towed the other way, opposite of the front. It looks like one of those Hummer EVs right there, right? It's like going in all the wrong directions. It might sound like, you know, hypocritical. Hypocritical is probably not the word. But this should probably be a parts Trackhawk, right? Even though the Trackhawk was, I think, objectively worse than this, knowing what I know now, this should probably be a parts car. I can't say I know much about them, but I do like them. These new RS3s, they are fast, or you can make them really fast. A lot of people make a lot of power in these, and they come in these awesome colors like mustard / highlighter yellow, and they have a green one that's really cool.
All that I know is they got 5 pistons.
Accurate, which sounds weird, right? A 5-piston engine, I mean, unless you're an Audi or Volkswagen guy, but they make great power. So can't really argue with it, right? All-wheel drive, turbo, a nice little packaged 4-door car like this. You just gotta love it. I presume this is some type of aftermarket intercooler. There's no way that's factory, though I can't make out what the sticker says. It's a real heavy bar and plate design. These, along with the RS6 Avants, are what really made me start liking Audis. Now, don't get me wrong, love the old S4s, the Nagaro blue. They had the yellow ones as well. I really would like to try one of these out one day. I mean, I guess the question is it gonna be this one? Ooh, oof. Okay, we'll get in the other side. Don't like that. Check out that carbon mirror though. That's pretty slick. Let's get around here. Hopefully this opens up a little better. Yeah, this one's straight. Man, look at the interior on these. Alcantara. I mean, yeah, it's got blown airbags pretty much everywhere, but the seats, they did such a nice job on these cars. Whew. Yeah, this frame rail here is swayed up and in. The whole bumper beam's over that way. This upper rail, that's relatively in the right spot, though it's definitely pulled in a decent bit. Man, now I guess the question here, and I'm not super familiar with these cars outside of the fact that I just kind of like them every time I see one drive by, is did the engine get hit? And it looks like the radiator is pushed back a hair, but I don't think it got into the engine. There's some hoses and whatnot on the front of the intake manifold, and yeah, you might need to do something with those. But I like the chances of survival on the engine. Now, the chassis, though, it's rough. I mean, that's the worst side, but even over here, I mean, the headlight's not supposed to be hanging around like that. With this bumper being pulled over, there's a good chance that frame got tweaked a little bit, but it does look like it might just be that front horn portion, so it's actually not as bad as it could be. Further back, you got the fender. I mean, it's pushed back into the door there. You probably have a little bit of rocker damage back there from the wheel moving back too. The windshield, that's cracked all the way across. Man, the side skirt, the carbon side skirt, that's jacked up. These two doors, the rear much worse. That's beat. Rear quarter panel, that's bashed in. This is a lot. This really is a tough one. So on one hand, picking up a new car like this, something you haven't worked on before, yeah, let's get one that's really messed up and learn something along the way, right? We'll have to replace a lot, we'll have to work a lot, and it usually leads to you just being more knowledgeable about the car afterwards, but it's certainly not the smart financial decision, right? Now, you'll already know the deal. Not scared of a poor financial decision, so if it goes for the right price, why not? But what's the right price on this? You see these things go in very much better shape at the auction for 30s. You can get one of these things from the dealer for $60-ish thousand, which, don't get me wrong, is still a ton of money, but it's a lot of car for the money compared to what you'd expect to get out of an Audi. So that raises the question, what could you pay for this one? It's gotta be like low 20s, right?
Yeah.
Maybe even high teens, but I don't think that's going to happen. So I don't think we're going to be able to end up buying this thing. I'm sure it's going to go for too much money, but there is something that we're going to buy today.
I thought boats are supposed to have engines.
I said it's a project, man. We got ourselves a project, a boat. All right, and points for anybody who actually knows what boat this is. They're old Carolina work boats that I just happen to love and became really popular to build into just cool center consoles. So yeah, we drove all the way to Massachusetts to pick up a new boat. And new probably isn't the best word for it.
Is this what's considered like rolling shell? This is gonna be like a floating shell?
This would be like, yeah, a rolling shell, but a floating shell. And speaking of rolling, this thing's sitting on a trailer that, the previous owner rigged together out of some wood, some ratchet straps and whatnot, just so we could get it a few streets over to the boat ramp. Clearly this thing's not gonna make it back 300 miles, so now we need to get this off this trailer and onto the new trailer that we just went and bought. It's well established what kind of cars I buy at this point, but just in case you're wondering what kind of boats I like to buy, well, they probably have a big old crack in the floor there, probably fall through it if I step in the wrong place here. It checks out, right?
That's about to sink. She ain't going nowhere?
I don't think so. I'm glad you're very confident though. So for a little bit of context here, I have one of these boats, the smaller version, the 21-foot version. It was fully redone. I freaking love that thing. I sold it a few years back. Instead of ever getting another one, it's going to be a little longer. We could all use that, right? So this is the 24-foot version, and the plan with is to basically just recreate my old boat, just a little longer, a little wider, a little more power, and a little more offshore capable.
We're gonna put a Hemi on it.
It's not the worst idea, right? For the time being though, we're gonna stash this thing here in a barn and I guess start working on it when and honestly if we have time for it. Now I'm on the fence about this, if I wanna take on all the floor work, all the stringers and all that not so fun stuff myself, or if we wanna outsource some of that more time consuming stuff and then just do the finish work, just throw in the bracket and the engine and do all the fun stuff later on. So I guess, let me know if you guys have any interest in watching a boat rebuild here on the side channel. Now, one of the best things about this boat, other than the, just fantastic shape she's in, is it was cheap. Like, real cheap, which I guess checks out, right? It should be cheap. Either way, that means we have a little bit of money left in the budget to maybe buy one of those other projects we saw at Copart. So hopefully, maybe we'll bring home another project from this trip, though this one I guess will have wheels.